ironically, it was right before Valentine's Day. I met with a radio show host right in Richmond, Virginia. I was on her show, and she kept begging and pleading. She was like, I want you to get on my website. I want you to sign up for it. It was a new, it was like a radio networking website for artists, for radio show hosts, for people just looking to connect. And so I went a few weeks without going on it. She kept emailing me, kept texting me like, I need you on there, I need you on there. Long story short, I finally signed up for it. And I'm telling you, the first day I signed up for it, I'm just scrolling through looking at some of the artist pages or whatever, and I come across Taryn V. So, of course, naturally, you know, I'm like, man, she's gorgeous. Look at her.
Carry on.
But, so, you know, I saw the picture, but, you know, in my mind, I didn't think too much, because I'm like, you know, she's married, she's taken, I don't know where she's from, I don't know nothing about her, but anyway, laid out on her page, she had a bunch of spoken word, poetry, I don't know what you were doing, but it was some writings. So I was reading through it, it was a lot of good stuff. And it just so happened that that same weekend we were having an open mic in Richmond, and so I read through it, sent her a message, hey, how are you? I see that you're in the area, we got open mic coming up, why don't you come and check it out? And
I'll finish the rest of it. I'll pick up from where he left off and kind of give you my side of things. Well, I was in Richmond. I was in an intern program there for about a year or so, doing some training. And I was going to Mount Gilead. Happened to see...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he didn't know that.
Because she told me she went to Mount Gilead, and I was like, no,
yeah, I was kind of in and out doing some traveling here and there. But when I was in Richmond, I was there.
I would have saw you if you was in Richmond.
I don't believe no. But, so I was there in Richmond at the time, and actually when I came back from traveling, I went to the church and there was a play going on. And I saw this young man. I think I recall seeing him before singing in the praise team, and he was in the play, and I was like, oh, he's a cute guy, and kind of left it at that, you know, wasn't anything more to it. However, so I ended up connecting online, and I Shout for Joy, and I just kind of wanted to see what it was about. I knew it was like music and, you know, different artists, and just being able to connect and network, and music is definitely one of my many passions. And so I was like, it would be cool if I connect. So I knew, you know, she was the local radio show host there. Actually, she's international, right?
International. Go inJOY.
Yeah. All right. But so I was like, let me connect. Lo and behold, as I connected, maybe like the next day or so, I see this familiar face.
It was the next day?
Was it? I think it was.
You were on there one day?
One day? Yeah.
Jeez, I was on there one day too.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Crazy. Crazy.
I just learned something new.
Yeah. It was crazy. But I got on there and I was just putting my writings up, you know, just wanted to kind of share with the people. And I get a message from Mr. Ty Francis.
And what were you thinking when it first came through? Because when
like,
I shouted to you, I was like, oh, dang, I don't know if she's going to respond. I don't know if she's going to think I'm trying to holler. I don't know if she's going to like try to play me.
I was actually like, wow, this is cool. But of course it wasn't, I was just a little bit. Don't tell anybody that. Shh, don't y'all tell anybody that. Yeah, I was kind of digging him a little bit. Just a tad bit. I didn't really know much about him, so it was only, you know, just like, oh, he's cute. Kind of like the same thing I said at the play. So, I ended up getting a message about this open mic night. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go because I was traveling out the next day to go to New Jersey for training. Right,
and my heart was broken.
Oh,
seriously, my heart was broken because I'm reading this stuff and I'm getting to know about her a little bit, and then she's like, well, I gotta head out of town, and then I'm gonna be heading back home, and I live in Alabama, and I'm like,
yeah,
scratch that.
Yeah, he was done with me. He was done.
I was like,
you know?
I was like, this is not gonna work. I don't do long distance relationships, so
at all.
Farewell. Appreciate you.
But as you see, he didn't go far. But yeah, so we decided, I guess, to keep in touch somehow. He sent me the friend request on iShout, and that's where it all began. We began communicating back and forth on iShout for Joy. That was that went for a while.
Yeah, exchanged numbers. Then we started to talk for a little while. Honestly, I didn't think the long distance thing was gonna work. You know, I'm like, you know, we'll keep in touch. We're cool, we're friends, you know, but I didn't think it was gonna work. But anyway, you know, we went on our first date. First date was very interesting because, you know, you've been connected online, you've been talking on the phone, but you haven't seen them in person.
Yeah.
And so it's super awkward. It's like the extreme blind date.
Yeah. I had just got back from New Jersey on that very first day. Well, our very first date, I had just got back from New Jersey. fresh off the road. We decided, okay, it's been a month, we've been talking, and that's all we had since I was in New Jersey. But I'm back in Richmond now, so you know, let's go out, let's hang out and see what this is going to happen.
I just gotten back from Africa. Was going on a missions trip,
right.
And so it just happened to be that same weekend. Like I said, we were connecting, but at that point we weren't dating. We were just talking. Both of us were interested.
And how interesting was it that our very first date was at one of Jamila Joy's events, right?
It was. it was her event.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that. Wow, that is pretty interesting. But what made it so funny, of course, you know, we'd never seen each other, so we see each other, but it was kind of funny though because she parks like on the far end of the parking lot. I'm like at the building, and so we're walking towards each other, but we're like really far apart.
You
so
can hear all the little music playing and everything.
But it was like super awkward because you're looking, but you don't want to yell like, "Hey, how are you doing?" But at the same time, it's like you don't want to stare at him.
The reason I did that, I'm gonna tell you this. The reason I did that was because if he wasn't what I thought he was, according to the pictures, I had time to kind of escape.
Time to run.
Yeah. Nah, I'm just playing. That was funny.
So, it was a story within that too, long story short, that made it really, really interesting. We were supposed to meet up, but on the way there, my father, he's a pastor, and he was working at the church. He was working at the church. Hey, it was awkward for me too.
He set me up.
Whatever. So he was working at the church. He just got done with the surgery on his back, and so he was setting up chairs for a big event they were having that night. I don't know what happened, but a bunch of people that was supposed to help him, somehow everybody called out. And so nobody was there to help him out. And so I'm like, hey, well, you're not supposed to be moving chairs. You just had your surgery.
Now?
No, not now.
Okay, go ahead.
So, he's moving the chairs, and so I'm like, all right, well, I'll swing by, but, you know, I got to head out. Didn't plan on being there, so I'm moving the stuff, and so I had to call her, and I'm like, hey, we got to change the plans. Can you meet me here
Can you
instead?
meet my father?
Yeah, I gave you the heads up, though. I gave you the heads up.
He did.
Because
I didn't know what to expect. I'm like, what? Oh.
Well, I figured
it would
be rude. It would be rude for her to pull up. And then, you know, he's right there, and then just be like, hey, you know, 86 that. So,
yeah.
So, yeah, that was really weird.
It was really weird. It was
awkward,
awkward, but it all went well. It was perfect. The date was perfect. Just enjoying each other. It was. I enjoyed the first date.
No, you didn't. You don't even remember where we went.
We went to the Jamila Joy concert,
and then
Pastor Jamal Bryant was there. And shout out to Sisterly Grace. They danced.
Where did we go to eat?
We went to, well, at first we were going to TGIF, but we decided to change our mind because it was so packed there, so we decided to go to Old Charlie's.
She did pretty good.
Yes, I remember.
Did pretty good. So yeah, the first date was pretty interesting. I wasn't sure how everything went. Honestly, after the first date, I was kind of like, I'm not sure she's feeling me. I'm not sure, you know.
Were you feeling me?
Yeah, so, but it should be like that though. I mean, like a real woman of God, a real woman of virtue, like a woman that has standards. You shouldn't be able to tell right off the bat. Like, you know, she's not easy at all. And so she gave enough signals, enough little smiles, enough little giggles here where I could kind of tell, like, okay, maybe she's interested a little bit, but not enough where she was like, hey, here I am, you know, take me now. You know what I'm saying? But that was a beautiful thing though. And so first date was interesting.
First date was awesome. And we'll be sharing more.
Bah.
The proposal.
Bah.
The proposal. Well, before we go into all of the details of that, kind of just wanted to set it up for you. As far
our relationship, it's like a grocery store.
It's like a grocery store.
Sounds crazy.
Very crazy. And when we tell people, you should see their faces when we say it. But once we break it down, they're like, "Oh, that's so cute." Okay.
Somehow, nothing
but
else.
So our grocery store has 10 aisles, right? 10 aisles.
10 aisles.
We've been through. We were.
You have to tell them what the grocery store is. Because before we went into the grocery store. So the grocery store, we have to go shopping, and the ingredients that we pick up throughout the grocery store are things that we're looking for in a mate. And so once we finally decided, you know, because it takes you time to figure out if you want to go into the store at all. Because you might not really like how the store looks on the outside. You might not think that's the store that has everything you need. And so, you know, we sat outside for a while. But we made the decision to come.
Like, wait, I'm in the store already. Where you at?
So we finally went into the store, and so while shopping, we're shopping for things that we're looking for in a potential mate. So that's the synopsis.
That's the synopsis of it, and we kind of went through our aisles, and each aisle has a significance of the level that we, are at in our relationship. We kind of compare it to where we are, and that's the thing of just about us being transparent with one another. And from the previous video, it just explains what level we are in our relationship. It's very good to do that. I encourage a lot of couples to really do it. And you don't necessarily have to do the grocery store, but something to at least examine where you are in your relationship.
And it kind of keeps you on the same page
Keeps
too,
you on the
because
same page.
with every aisle you talk about what your expectations are, and every aisle represents a different level in the relationship. Ultimately, working up to the checkout. The checkout represents engagement, and then you go home and prepare the food, and that represents marriage, enjoying the food. And
so we've been on aisle 6. We were on aisle 6. This was I went there for February. In February we went to see the Lion King, right?
Lion King. I was having a concert that weekend.
He was having a concert that weekend. So as we were there, whatever, we were on aisle 6 in the grocery store. So you had a concert that was Sunday night or something?
Yeah.
It was Sunday night, and actually my flight was supposed to leave out the next morning, early Monday morning. But as we were driving from the concert, it began to snow. He asked if he wanted to change your flight to a later time, and I was like, that may be good. That may make a lot of sense. So we won't have to get up early, and we'll check it out and see. So it was the next day, right?
Yeah. What she didn't know was that I had gotten the ring that same day that we were traveling. She didn't know it. I went to the store right before we got on the road. I didn't know if I was going to propose. My parents were asking, are you going to do it? What you going to do? What are you going to say? How are you going to do it? Are you going to record it? Are you going to, they're asking all these questions. I'm like, I don't even know if I'm going to do it at all. Another thing she didn't know was as she was in the air flying on her way to Richmond, I had spoken to her parents about it and, got their blessing. Fellas, please do that. It makes a big difference.
It does.
Get the parents' blessing. It is necessary. So I got their blessing. She had no idea, because she's in the air. She's not talking to them, so she didn't know any of that stuff. So Monday morning, she did end up pushing the flight back.
Pushed the flight back.
It snowed. It was the first snow of Richmond because it's been dry like the whole winter. But it snowed that day for us.
It was Monday morning. We decided to go to IHOP to get some breakfast, grab breakfast. In the meantime, I'm trying to call the airport, checking the flights because you have to call 3 hours in advance. So after we ate breakfast, we went back to the house, right?
Yeah, went back to the house.
And there was a couple of flights that I think they ended up getting booked, so we had to wait a little later. So we were just sitting on the couch at his parents' house, just chilling, and he had this amazing idea to go riding, go sightseeing. Get out the house while we wait on the airport. You didn't know?
Yeah, I still didn't know. Because even as we were leaving the house, my dad, he's making little jokes. He's like, hey, you gonna do it? And like Taryn has her back turned on, like,
I didn't even know all of this was going on.
Yeah, and so I was like, I don't really know if I'm gonna do it, but the only way I'm gonna do it is if the timing is just perfect. If it's right, then I'll do it. If not, I'll wait until next visit. But I had no idea, really, honestly. I know you think I
didn't know
did,
either. Because we kind of go riding, go sightseeing, go chilling out, chill at the park. We do that. So I didn't even think anything of it when he said, hey, you want to go riding? Let's get out the house, while we kill some time. So decided to go riding, went down the street, went to a lake, right?
Went to a lake.
And as soon as he pulled up, I was like, it's snow on the ground, it's cold, I'm not getting out the car. I had to put that in.
So we were just sitting in the car. No, it was still a lake, it was still waterfall, nice view, and we're just talking, just casual conversation. Not intentional at all. Somehow got onto the topic of the next aisle, right?
Yeah.
Or was it marriage first?
Oh, I have to tell this part.
We talking about marriage.
We talked
and the
about
next
the
aisle.
grocery store. We kind of went about that. It was like, it's probably time to go to the next aisle, aisle 7. And then we kind of changed the subject. We talked about marriage.
We were.
And he threw a curveball. He was saying that, if he were to propose, it wouldn't probably be until the summer. I didn't even believe that. I was like, no way. Stop playing. And what else happened after that? We kind of laughed and joked about that. But then we ended up getting back on the getting back on the aisle and kind of talking about that, right?
Yeah, we did. And then she like spazzed out and she was like, did you just propose to me? Did you just propose to me?
I forgot that
I'm bugging out. I'm sweating. My heart starts racing because I'm like, whoa, no, I didn't.
I had to get him.
What? Yeah. So I'm like bugging out and I'm like, Yeah, we were talking about, we started talking about the aisles. And
on the subject of the aisles, and I was thinking like, okay, so aisle 7, and each aisle has a name.
Each aisle has a name.
You know, every name. I think aisle 6 was digging deep, but we were like, okay, for aisle 7, what would we call this? I couldn't think of anything at that moment, but
I couldn't either.
Yeah,
both of us were. Yeah, both of us were really stumped about it and didn't have a clue. And so that's when it clicked. And so I hopped out the car, and Taryn is
he
like,
said, I have an idea. I know what we can call it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. He's like, I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna write it in the snow. And I was like, okay. I didn't think anything of it because if you know Ty, you know he's spontaneous. You know he's creative, and he just likes to do things differently. So I really didn't think anything of it when he said, hey, I'm gonna write it in the snow.
Yeah. So I jumped out, went out in the snow, and I wrote it out in the snow, and then I signaled for her to come out, and she's looking like wide-eyed, like...
Yeah, like, what is going on? So, I get out the car, I look in the snow, and in the snow it said, checkout. I look at him like, what is this? You know, what does this mean? And as I'm looking at him, he's going into his pocket and pulling out a box.
My hand is shaking.
He's like cheesing hard.
I can't even get it out. Like, it took me forever to get it out of my pocket just because I'm
and
like...
I'm already crying. Like, oh my God.
She was bawling before I even got it out. She's like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Yeah, are you serious? Is this for real? Is this for real? Oh my goodness. Are you? And she's like crying, but the tears are like coming all the way down her hands and her arms. And I'm like, Taryn. Yeah.
Hey,
and so she's bawling.
Happy moment. So then he gets down on his knees in the snow.
What were you thinking at that moment?
I just couldn't believe that it was happening. It was just so surreal. Like, just like, is this really happening? Somebody pinched me.
Saying.
Like, is this for real?
So I get down in the snow. I'm on my knee in the snow.
And I'm still asking questions like, is this for
real?
real?
And so, like, I have her hand, and she's like, oh my goodness, are you serious? And she's backing up while I'm holding her hand, and I'm like,
did that make you nervous?
Did it?
I'm sorry.
Did it? I'm sitting there, and so I'm like trying to pull her closer while she's backing up, like, are you serious? Tanya, are you joking? Is this for real? Is this for real? And so I pulled the ring out, and I'm like, you know, does this look like I'm for real? And so then she backs up even more when she sees the ring, and I'm like, hey.
It was a beautiful moment.
You know, I proposed. I asked her to marry me. But even once I asked her, she was like, Ty, are you serious? Are you serious? And she's still spazzing out, and I'm like, Taryn, please answer the question. My knee is getting cold. You're making me nervous.
And then I thought about it. I'm like, oh man, his knee has been in that snow for a while. So I was like, yeah. I said yes. I said yes with all of my heart. I said yes.
Oh, she said yes. She said yes, and
it was definitely a very, very happy moment that I will never forget.
Unexpected.
It was very unexpected, and something I told him even before he got out the car was that I like the positively unexpected.
I forgot that part. See, and that was my trigger.
That was
my trigger. We were talking about marriage. We were talking about the next aisle, and she was like, you know, I like the positively unexpected. And in my mind, I was like, there it is.
Wow. Okay. All right.
We're keeping this in the video.
Yeah. Hey.
You're so lame.
You like me.
So yeah, I talked to a few people before I proposed, and they're like, oh, she has to have some kind of clue. You know, I know she knows, but I'm like, man, I know Taryn, and she's not expecting, because the type of person she is, she's kind of like, hey, I appreciate our relationship where it is. I appreciate our friendship. She's far from one of those people that's like, I just want to get married. I just need a husband. I just want somebody to hold on to. I just want somebody to cuddle with. I just want somebody to go out with. You know, she's not that type. She's not needy. She's not insecure. I mean, you can't be in a long distance relationship. But you know, and so it made it easy for me to make that choice, just because I know she doesn't need me. You know, she's not clingy. You know, she's clinging to me right now. So, you know what I mean? But, you know, that made it easy for me because, you know, she doesn't need me. She's independent, but not too independent. You know, she still lets me open the door for her.
Yes.
So, you know, that's what I can appreciate about it. And so, now I'm happy.
And I'm happy too. I'm so happy.
I hope so.
I'm very happy. And we're happy that you were able to
we're happy.
We're happy that you were able to check out this video of our love story. It means so much to us to be able to share with you, and we hope that it blesses you in some way. We thank God for you, our family, our friends, and we look forward to celebrating with you on our special day, October 20th.
October 20th.
October 20th, it goes down.
It's going down.
Yay!
So, love you.
Love you all. Looking forward to seeing a lot of you. Bye.